Hello everyone, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and today, well, we have more information about the PlayStation Portal. Finally! Yes, so the PlayStation Portal itself has had a lot of press in the last couple of days because it got recently released over the weekend, over the end of the last week. I wanted to wait on this a couple of days because originally I was going to post this video alongside of another video that I posted actually on Friday. But in the end, I decided to split them up into two videos because they both got really freaking long. But overall, we are going to be talking today about the PlayStation Portal. Ah, yes, the end-all, be-all of what PlayStation is at its pinnacle. Portable PlayStation and having the power in the palm of your hands is what I would say if it wasn't just a glorified tablet that just so happens to have some DualSense controllers slapped onto it and doesn't even have cloud support. Yet, apparently. But we'll get into that. So overall, what happened in the world of the PlayStation people? Well, again, some of the reviews and stuff for the PlayStation Portal started to come out, and they're pretty odd. And in all honesty, there's a lot to talk about here because, well, there's stuff on both sides being thrown around, and the Xbox fanboys just don't seem to care, and the PlayStation fanboys seem to be throwing it around again like it's their just white banner flag, as always, because, again, they're PlayStation fanboys, and you can't expect that much from them. So, let's start this off. The first tweet here is actually kind of one that is a little bit older, but at the same time, I just wanted to talk about it because this person has put a Xbox portal, PlayStation Portal for the Xbox fanboys to enjoy, and then just kind of mocks up a very stupid-looking controller that, again, did not look good when the PlayStation did it, and does not look good when Xbox does it, if the way that he does it is even worse, because it's a stupid Photoshop job from Nikita, where as someone then retweets why they don't actually need it, because they actually have more options. And the thing with that is that those more options actually are able to be better, because not only can they use multiple different cloud services, mind you, I'm not going to go into it, but you can read it yourself, but they are actually their own devices that can use things like the internet and stuff very, very easily. And I think that if Microsoft were to do something like this, it'd be the same sort of system, where they would just have a really cool tablet and then have their controls into it. But again, they don't really need to, because as we'll get into, a few, if not of some of these things, are really just kind of weird. So again, we're still on the more people who are more neutral on this and more against this PlayStation Portal for right now. But don't worry, we'll get into the pony salt really quickly. Whereas this is basically the duality of man, as I kind of called it out, from Joe from Seattle. And basically the two people here have two opposing kind of reviews, whereas one person asks why it actually exists, because it after testing it does just one thing, and that's stream games via Wi-Fi for your PS5 and stuff. And again, we'll get into more specifics later on, but that's all it does. It's just stream games over Wi-Fi, and that's it. And it doesn't even come with Wi-Fi, it doesn't even come with Bluetooth, it doesn't even come with the basics of web browsing and stuff like that. And then we go over to the VGA one, where they have a 4 out of 5 stars, and they say, hey, this is an incredibly slick device that solves a problem not everyone has, which, very weird to put that. Next up, we have Mr. Hate at 60 FPS, and oh my stars and garter, I wanted to go in on this one a little bit, because this guy says that the PS5 has the most options to game to date, most ways to game to date, where he then basically introduces the four devices of how to game in options mode. Sir? No. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Cease. Because here's the thing. The PlayStation 5 has a lot of options. Fairly a lot of them, actually. And the 4 here listed are technically correct. However, if I were to debunk even just these 4 devices, the PlayStation 5 is actually getting a redesign for the Slim, meaning that they're no longer going to be selling the old versions, and they're going to be running out of that stock soon. So you're going to lose that option over time. Next up, the Backbone, while it is actually not made by Sony, by the way, it's actually made by the company Backbone. And I'm fairly certain that Backbone actually does have other companies that they work with to create these sorts of devices. And again, it's a mobile game. or mobile thing development. That's not really a dig at it anymore because mobile games have come a long way. And again, it can use and operate under clouds and PlayStation, blah, 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 blah. But still, it's a mobile device and is actually significantly cheaper than the PlayStation Portal that it's sitting next to, because the PlayStation Portal, again, as stated before, has very little to offer in terms of, your actual fucking phone. So the phone is actually better off working with it to play games than the PlayStation Portal. And again, we'll get into that more, but again, it just streams games over Wi-Fi. That's it. Then finally, we have the PlayStation VR 2, which all that I have to say is you have one VR headset that has been released by the PlayStation for at least a couple of times before. It does not have any way to be played on PC, which has some of the biggest VR markets to be asked fucking ever, but at the same time, PC has way more options, not just in just that category alone. There's at least 5 to 6 different options that I can think of off the top of my head that could be used on the PC that cannot be used at all with the PlayStation. So, no, the PlayStation does not have more options. And I haven't even gotten into the fact that a PC can literally be customized to do everything from a work laptop to a fucking server that operates independently of your computer and can run shit on it. Weird. Next up, we have Mr. J-Dub. If you have multiple PS5s like myself, you can choose between multiple systems to connect to. I have nothing for that, because quite honestly, that's kind of meh. But that's just kind of sad to me as well, that he owns multiple PS5s and probably is paying for multiple subscription services to get to his online games. I think. Someone said to prove him wrong to compare the Wii U to the PlayStation Portal controller, and you know what? He's actually not wrong. Again, the thing with the Wii U was it always had this really cool idea to be able to take this second screen and to use it as a second screen with the actual thing. The only thing now is that it's better because at least with the Switch, you can have it in docked mode where it has a little bit more power and stuff like that, and you can actually take it with you, and it's a full-fledged console where it can connect to the internet and stuff like that. And I would recommend that it actually has less features, not the Switch, the Portal has less features than the actual Wii U controller, from what I can tell. Next, we got the pros of the PS Portal not being hardware-based are starting to show. It'll have a better battery life, a better quality build, and at an affordable price. Compare that with the comfort and DualSense, the comfort of DualSense, plus it's confirmed to be much lighter than a Steam Deck. The pros can't be ignored. The pros can't be ignored. The only pro that you listed off here is that it has the DualSense controllers, which in some cases is a pro. You have that it's lighter than a Steam Deck, which is true because it doesn't require as much to power just a screen and a controller in terms of battery life. Better quality build at an affordable price. The Steam Deck just got a redesign and actually has gotten a better quality build for that. But to get into some of the quote-unquote pros, I found a couple of clips from people who have these pros and who have taken this stuff outside. So let's first start off, we'll get into a different clip later, but let's first start off with this clip where someone tried to take it outside to a coffee shop.
I packed it up and took it to Dunkin' Donuts, which, as a New Englander, I am required by law to visit at least once per month. I'd hoped to test its performance on public Wi-Fi, but this was a total bust. Dunkin', like many chains, airports, libraries, hotels, and other locations offering guest Wi-Fi, requires you to visit a website and acknowledge its terms of service before allowing you onto their network. And the portal has no web browser to allow such an interaction. That is a huge bummer, because pretty much any place you'd want to use it outside your house is going to require that initial login pay.
Whoa! What a pro! To be able to go out to public Wi-Fi and not use it? What? That's so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, obviously that's kind of fucking stupid. And some people would be like, oh, well then I'll just use the hotspot and stuff on my phone. Here's the thing, that uses cellular data, and some people don't want to use their cellular data because they only have so much of it that they can get every month. Are you really that much dedicated and that much in traveling to where you can use that in some cases? And I would also say this, he's going to a local shop for Wi-Fi services. Imagine if that Wi-Fi service not only sucks, but is across like half of the city, or heck, even across the world if you're going traveling or something like that. Like, again, even just across the city, that is a stupidly long distance. Like, you live out in the suburbs and you drive 2 to 3 hours out to a local coffee shop and you're like, oh, let's get some gaming done. Like, at least with my Steam Deck, I don't have to connect to the internet, and I can play certain games that are locally stored on the actual device to be able to do it. Very interesting. But yeah. Next up, we have Mr. Hates at 60 FPS again here with PS Portal has no lag. Sony did it. Woohoo! To which I have to retort two things. I've watched this clip at least a number of times, and I saw that someone else decided to retweet it in order to, talk about it as well. And this is pure PlayStation. Mr. I will like to dox my actual people, and where he basically goes into detail here. I'm not going to go into detail and read this thing out because this video is going to be long as fuck already. But again, it's just the same clip. Don't worry about it. I looked at this clip, and I actually did a very decent breakdown of this clip. The decent breakdown was that overall, there was actually a frame or two difference because of this. And then I went on to say that maybe it also has to do with the Wi-Fi connectivity, which, in all honesty, it does. Where someone said, oh no, that creates a peer-to-peer connection whenever you go through this Wi-Fi system, and therefore it has less latency. It's like, yes, it does. But that's not what I was calling into question here. What I was calling into question here is the speed at which the actual Wi-Fi is that is provided by your Wi-Fi person, your ISP. And he didn't seem to get that when you pay for Wi-Fi, you are paying a specific company a specific rate to get a set number of speeds, of read and write speeds, whenever you are actually using the Wi-Fi. You can usually test this via whatever. And having a hardwired connection is actually the best form because you don't have to send as many signals down through the air and have to go through phasing and blah 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 blah. Having a wired connection just does that. Anyway, that's what my whole thing is that it could have been a slight problem with the speed at which you're paying for your Wi-Fi. To which he then says, well, that's not how this works. I'm like, what do you mean that's not how this works? And that's my biggest question with this whole big debate that I got with someone, even over just this tweet. My point is, if you have a shitty Wi-Fi, you're going to have a shitty time with this device, regardless of whatever your speed is. Because once that connection is established, it's sending signals back and forth very, very quickly. And if you have bad internet, you're going to have a bad time. But don't just take my word for it in terms of that. I have a clip here from Tested that I also found that I will also then commentate a little bit over so you can actually talk about it. So here we go.
PlayStation Portal, and comparing the screen response time on these remote play devices compared to the HDMI connected TV, the system and the setup that actually performed the best was the remote play app on my iPhone, connected over Wi-Fi 6 and using a Bluetooth controller. Looking at the side-by-side comparisons and going frame by frame on a cutscene to see when the cutscene would switch on these local devices, it was actually about a frame slower on both the PlayStation Portal and on the Steam Deck than on the iPhone using the Remote Play app. So,
whoa! Surprised Pikachu face? That the Remote Play app is actually not as bad as anyone else has to say here. It's not as bad as, again, how Pure PlayStation puts it, saying that the backbone seems ancient from the superior PlayStation Portal, which with seamless integration, better lag reduction, one-button connectivity, perfect aspect ratio, and greater estate, integrated 8 screens, full DualSense built by Sony. Moreover, why would you even think of putting your expensive phone into jail mode and drain out its battery, getting bugged by notifications, connecting and disconnecting Remote Play, and slapping the phone every single time. If you're having those issues, you might have to worry about your actual phone being on the fritz rather than it actually being a problem with, Sony software, because the phone is usually made by, say, Apple or Android or whatever, and that's your problem, and Bob's your uncle, so nothing really else to say there, except for the fact that getting bugged by notifications, both of these devices will actually get bugged by notifications because, unfortunately, they both have notification settings. Like, you will get notified about achievements and stuff, and, like, the phone's like, oh, just go to I'm like, go to do not disturb mode. Simple as that. It will stop all notification. Plus, I would also think that that would be better in terms of getting bugged by notifications, because what if you get, like, a call, Like, you're playing a video game, but you get, like, a call for some reason. It's like, oh, shit, I should probably pause my game and take this call if it's, like, an important doctor's appointment or something like that. I think that I would much rather, again, have the backbone for it. And, again, to drain out the battery life, no, I looked this up. The backbone, as well as most controllers that work with phones, actually have a pass-through function where you can plug in your remote, your little fucking charging cable, whatever that is, and actually charge the controller while you're playing. Charge the actual device while you're playing. So, no, unfortunately. Sorry. I don't know why I put this one in here, but this one, like, pissed me off as well, because there was the upcoming Suicide Squad game. Someone retweeted this and saying, PlayStation gamers eating good when it comes to superhero games. This is a multi-platform, dude. This is a multi-platform. I can buy it on Steam. I can buy it wherever else. It's a multi-platform. And it's saying, like, the thing here has to do with the upcoming utilizes the high-speed SSD, turning the Metropolis into your travel speed playground. Even though, again, this is available on PC, by the way. It's available there. Meaning that you can play it on a regular hard drive. It's optimized enough for that. Anyway, sorry about that. I wanted to get that off of my system because, goddammit, that tweet just kind of made me a little bit angry. Anyway, next up we have the Black Viking here talking about how there are actually scalpers for the PlayStation Portal. Really? Wow. The scalpers here are really cool. Now again, if these are actually scalpers, congratulations. But yeah, if these are actually scalpers, and they don't look like they are actually scalpers, as I only see a couple of them going for over the actual price of it, these people are kind of dumb, because this is a pretty niche device and it's already being sold out everywhere, because I know people would want to then have to come to them and pay the more expensive price for them to, like, be reimbursed about it or something like that. So yeah, I am also very concerned for the PlayStation people for that. Anyway, I said earlier in the video that the PlayStation Portal might get cloud support, and so, here's the thing with that. I'm not going to, again, read through this whole tweet, just that there is a possibility, and these are supposed rumors, but I do not take this person seriously at all, and take this with a grain of salt, that the possibility is there, but they have officially stated, right? Sony has officially stated that there will be no cloud support for this specific device, as far as I can tell, and as far as they have said officially from not just the CEO's mouth, but, like, the people who represent PlayStation in total anyway. But they have a bunch of these reasons here as to why. So, I don't know. It also says that the Portal is basically an Android tablet. It's basically capable of running an app to have cloud support. I spit on that notion because the earlier thing of, this thing doesn't even have a fucking web browser. So, no, it doesn't even run Android. As far as we can tell, it's just a streaming device. That's it. It's, like, no different than, say, like, a Chromecast that's being plugged into your TV. It's very weird. Very weird. I think we'll leave it off on this, with the attention potential PlayStation Portal owners. If you cannot hardwire your PS5 to your network, I believe this product is going to absolutely underwhelm you in ways I can't even put into words. This was made before the actual release of, like, reviews and stuff, so again, this is a couple days old, so don't worry too much about it, but I agree with this notion for the most part. Like, for real, read my warning and reconsider buying it until you hardwire your PS5 into your network. I don't care if you have a $1,500 Wi-Fi 6E mesh system. Don't do it. The technical reasons behind this are you are now stacking wireless latency over wireless latency. PS5 to the router plus the PS Portal to the router as well. You may have to have this set up and be working quote unquote just fine, but wireless is already unpredictable and latent. So adding yet another wireless connection to mix into that PS5 to the router is going to make everything worse. And this is what I explained before, right? You have this wireless connection to your PS5, right? It does not work over the wired connection, or it doesn't seem to, or it might work over the wired connection. If it does, then but then that kind of just behooves the point as to why this thing just shouldn't be available. But if you're stacking multiple wireless connections on top of each other, and you're going to have some latency, and as we've seen with the official review, there's about a frame or two difference. Not just with the actual PlayStation Portal, but also the Steam Deck and stuff. But again, the Steam Deck also has other things going on. I will also say that the phone has other things going on, and that the Steam Deck, unsure if it was meant to do this, or like, well, you know what? No, I take that back. The Steam Deck was kind of meant to do this, and it was meant to work more well with Steam, but it works with everything because it's a PC and a portable console. And so, anyway, that was my whole issue, and that was my whole rant anymore. I think that'll just end it there, because quite honestly, I am just out of things to say. And this video is going to take a little bit to edit in the first place. Anyway, if you like what it is that I do and want to, moreover, talk to me in the comment section or something like that, I always try to respond as well. But do be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe if you like what it is that I do. Want to support me in other ways, links down to all of the socials, including Bandcamp and ways to support me monetarily down in the description below. Totally not necessary, but it's always a nice gesture to have to see. And with that being said, my name is GamePangan21. Thank you so much for watching again, and a peace off.
Hey man, can I get a favor?